Welcome everybody to the women's basketball edition of Warrior Daily. Tom Gorman and Coach Lohr here with you, starting a new calendar year, Coach, and got the old one off on a right note with a big win over Southern Indiana, coming off of a loss to St. Joseph's, almost by the same score as what we saw back on December 10th against the Pumas. But I was really impressed with the way your team was able to respond to that loss in just a 24-hour span to come out on Friday against the Screaming Eagles and play a really solid game.
Boy, that makes two of us, because I was a little surprised at the way we responded as well. It's kind of, one of those things. We had never been in that situation before. We hadn't played back-to-back, and I didn't know how we were going to respond. But, boy, if we're going to play like that, maybe we should play back-to-back more often.
No doubt about it. Just really aggressive game, pressing early on, forcing the issue, and as a result, a lot of turnovers for USI. And 5 minutes into the game, your team was up 14-0 and rolling.
I really have to give a lot of credit to our bench. I thought our bench came really ready to play. We were all very frustrated after Thursday night's loss to St. Joe, a replica of what happened back in December 10th. And so, with two things being said, I wasn't sure how we were going to respond, but I will say that left a real bitter taste in our mouth. I think that our bench really came in and in my opinion, really charged the energy. I mean, yes, we got off to a great start with our starting group, but it was really our bench that really cultivated that energy, and we really exploded early.
Yeah, some quality minutes out of Chloe Shrebernak, Kayla Bridges, among others. The depth of your team starting to come to fruition. That'll be critical as we move into GLIAC play going forward. Talking about one of your starters, though, Paige Sickmiller, one of your veteran players, has been a little bit up and down with her shot, but seems to have been coming on as of late, shooting about 45% over the last 3 games. Double figures in 4 straight, including 15 points against USI. That's a good sign.
It is, and Paige was frustrated early, and I think we all, even as her coach, was a little not concerned, but just wondering what it was going to take to get Paige going. And we, as a coaching staff, challenged Paige to really step away from the 3-point line and just focus on something else. Focus on being a rebounder. Focus on being a better defender. Focus on attacking the basket. And, kudos to Paige, where her strength had been behind the arc. That still is a strength of hers, but we wanted to broaden her game. And on Friday, she had 15 points, and none of those were 3. So that says a lot about how she's embraced the challenge and has been really working extra at her dribble drive, at attacking the basket, and making it a goal to get to the free throw line.
Let's talk about another aspect of your team, that being the rebounding has continued to be a strength for your team all year. You out-rebounded every single one of your opponents, and the numbers over the 2 games last week were astounding, 116-66, the rebounding margin in those 2 games. Your team easily the GLIAC leader in team rebounding. What's been the key there, and how important is that going to be to maintain going forward?
Well, certainly our size and our athleticism is a strong contributor, but really it's just the desire to go after the basketball. And, yes, some of that is technique, gaining rebounds, but a lot of that is desire and just going and getting the ball off the rim. So, again, our players have really kind of bought into that philosophy of, our goal is to control the boards. It's been a goal of ours since the first day we got together on September 6th. And it's really now a matter of funneling, those possessions into quality possessions. We're still struggling and taking care of the basketball. So it's a good thing we out-rebound our opponents, because we have a tendency to throw it away every so often, more than I would like to see us. So, now we've got to funnel our energy and more in valuing those possessions and taking care of the basketball. But I'm really proud of our players all the way around. I mean, certainly we get a few players that are in double digits on boards, but I think every player comes in and contributes for us in that category when they step on the floor. And we're gonna continue to embrace that and have that be a team goal and kind of have that be our stamp.
Only GLIAC games remain for your Warriors, and a few key games coming up. Hillsdale and Findlay will get very familiar with those teams over the next couple of weeks, because you will head on the road to take on the Chargers and Oilers this week. Next week, you will have those 2 teams here at home at the Mathi. So 4 games against 2 opponents coming up over the next couple of weeks. 3 teams, yours included, in the middle of the pack in the South Division, so it could be a great opportunity for you to kind of separate yourselves and your team from the rest of the pack in this division.
I agree. I think these next 2 weeks are really a defining week on where you're going to find yourself in the mix of the GLIAC South. Going to Hillsdale and to Findlay, we know those are going to be tough road games. We haven't fared well in the past on the road, and we need to change that. We need to, work through some things, whatever that may be, but we've got to get better on the road if we're going to be contenders. So, this week is a big week for us, 2 road games, and knocking off Hillsdale at Hillsdale would be a big win for us.
No doubt about it. Well, good luck on the road this week, Coach, and we'll talk next week before those 2 big home games.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's Coach Lohr. I'm Tom Gorman. Thanks for watching this edition of Warrior Daily.